Meghan is going to be in the Ellen show talking about her struggles as an actress, among other topics, I guess. But I couldn't wait until tomorrow, so I took a good look at the interview's teaser, and here's what I found. Welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and it would be great if you join us by just liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell. Let's get down to it. What's so interesting about this interview is that it includes two women that had been accused of bullying in the past. So it's a great opportunity to watch how those egos play with one another. The very first thing that I noticed was Meghan's facial expressions. It's not very common to see her talking this way, trying to be joyful and engaging with Ellen, and the easiest way to spot that there's something different here than other interviews is her brow. She did an interview a couple weeks ago where she was also talking, engaging with the interviewer, and more or less with the same happy attitude. But watch this clip and try to spot the difference on her face. As you can see, she's smiling and talking at the same time, and she's pointing with her face to the other person. She's looking for that non-verbal feedback. But what I found really strange was the way she really pushes her inner brows when talking to Ellen, something that didn't happen in the other interview. Now, if you've been following my episodes, you might remember that raising and pushing your eyebrows together has a lot to do with sadness. And it's not something that you can do on purpose unless you're an actor or an actress. So given that Meghan can actually show wrinkles on her forehead, for one tells us that she is not using Botox. But why does it happen in one instance and not in the other? Because I think she's trying to convey some kind of sadness in this story. The story that she's telling Ellen. By the way, what's wrong with Ellen's smile? Well, it looks like Ellen is really trying to smile while she's listening to Meghan tell her story, but a few seconds in, she gives up. Yeah, that grin. That grin means, please kill me now, I cannot stand this much longer. And Meghan's story is important, and there is a very good reason why she is talking about her struggles as an actress. If Meghan and Harry are in the impact business, you know, a glorified influencer business, if Meghan and Harry are paid to be impactful, they need to be relatable. Because you need people to identify with you in one way or another, and most people find it hard to empathize with someone that's usually wearing $500,000 in jewelry and clothing. That's what the struggling actress story is for. So that's why she talks about this old Ford Explorer that the kids stopped working on the driver door, so she had to climb in and out through the trunk. But wait a minute, why didn't she get in through the passenger seat? Well, maybe the key just stopped working altogether, but again, how did she open the trunk? I guess we'll have to wait until Piers Morgan interviews her so he can ask these pressing questions. But what's relevant here is that the teaser of the interview is focused on the anecdote of she having a broken car. And any teaser for any kind of show always sets the tone for what are you going to see in the full thing. Now, I'm sure Meghan is going to please us with other motivating life stories, but this struggling narrative is done on purpose. That's because she wants to be perceived as normal, relatable, and that's one of the reasons she's wearing white, to project purity, being naive, innocent. I must say that this blouse looks really good on her, especially the Ricky Ricardo sleeves. Wonderful. If we loop this clip back and forth, it's like she's playing the maracas. But going back to her body language, you don't usually see Meghan using this kind of gestures, in the sense that she's moving her hands in a small space. I know that she's trying to explain all the broken car stuff, but you can clearly see that she is hunching. That's not her usual body language baseline. She's much more used to more ample gestures and having a more straight posture. As you begin to stack all these nonverbal signals, you notice that yes, she's pushing to be perceived as a commoner and not as a duchess. Well, that's new. That's why she goes for a rather plain hairstyle, low contrast makeup, but the biggest giveaway is she laughing that much. I mean, have you ever heard Meghan Markle laughing? Well, here's your chance. I give you a couple seconds to recover. Every time we see two people interacting, there is a good chance that you're going to spot cross-body language signals. Just like one talks first and then the other answers. Exactly the same happens with our bodies. And you can imagine that with these two celebrities, whose reputation speaks volumes for them, you can imagine that below that perceived communication, there's going to be some struggle to have the protagonism. It's a personality or an ego thing, if you want to put it like that. And there was one moment, at least, one moment in this very short teaser when Meghan pauses her broken car story and this happens. Yeah, those look a lot like pacifying gestures. The first one from Meghan, doing that hair parting with both hands, and what is most relevant about this gesture is that when she does it, she covers her face. That gesture has a couple meanings, like you don't want people to notice your facial emotions, you want to hide for a second, you feel a bit insecure because there's absolutely no need to use both hands over your face to adjust your hair. But what's even more interesting is that at that very moment, Ellen also does another pacifying gesture, using her thumb and looking away. It's a very different gesture, but it shares one of the meanings, to have an excuse to break eye contact. And the excuse part is important because you could say, well, it would be odd if they had their eyes locked all the time, and I agree. In a conversation, it's normal to rest your eyes from time to time, but what is not normal is to need an excuse, in this case, hand gestures to do it. It's like at the same time that they're casually chatting, their egos are engaged in a cover stare contest, and they need some sort of excuse to break that lock at that moment. Again, you don't need any hand gestures to just look away. Now Ellen is going off the air, this is her last season and she's going to try new grounds. But this seems like an opportunity for Meghan to reach her current audience, even if it has been declining over the years. Because all these interactions have only one goal in common: exposure. And as I mentioned earlier, Meghan needs as much exposure as she can because her current job is staying relevant. Pretty much like Chrissy Teigen. And I'm really looking forward to see if Ellen will dare to be mean or rude to Meghan, like she has been with so many of her guests so many times. All my chips are on she won't dare. As soon as the full show goes live, you know that I'll be there to get down to it. If you want to refine your observation and analysis skills, don't forget to download my 100 body language tips right in the description of this video. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas and I'll see you soon, my body language buddies.